Welcome to CMCTV Talent. My name is Daniela Brugosa.
And I am Bosco da Costa. Today we have two very talented musicians who use their music to shed light on social injustice. Stay tuned for more.
Welcome to CMCTV Talent. Today's musicians are two very talented women who decided to use their music to shed light on social injustices in our society. One of them is a gifted musician who created one of the most successful choir groups in the country, Voices Rock Canada.
The other one is a social worker and singer-songwriter from Newfoundland. From Mi'kmaq background, she uses her music as a form of healing and reconciliation between Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples in Canada. Please welcome to the stage Cherryl BOWER and Susan QUIN.
Gently walk upon this land as we lay a bed of feathers, sacred ground beneath our feet. Precious bones remain forever. Feet will never touch the floor. Tiny shoes remain unworn. The sun won't shine on faces anymore. Love the souls of little angels. Bow our heads and softly we lay them down in a bed of feathers. Little angels ever sleep. Mother covers them in her as she holds them in her heart. Souls never left behind as they rise up to the stars. Love the souls of little angels. Bow our heads and softly we lay them down in a bed of feathers. Little angels ever sleep. Lullaby our souls to keep as we watch the angels sleep. Once were lost, but now are found. Feathers gently on the ground. Feet will never touch the shore. They're not forgotten anymore. Their souls live on forever. Souls live on forever. Love the souls of little angels. Bow our heads and soft never sleep. Look upon them as they sleep. Bow our heads and weep.
Susan and Cherryl, thank you so much for coming to CMCTV. It's a pleasure to have you two here.
Thank you.
And my first question for you is about the song we just listened to, which is Little Angels. So a few years ago, the country, Canada, was in shock when unmarked graves of children were found in Indigenous schools. And you two were able to come together and write a beautiful song about that horrific incident. How was the process of translating the horror into music?
Well, I had gone back to school for Indigenous Studies and social work, and one of the projects I did had to do with residential schools. And I did know about the situation that had been happening with the residential schools, but when the discovery of the bones occurred, the song literally came to me from spirit and overnight, including the music.
Giving me the chills, swear to God.
Yeah, there were a few modifications to the song because I really, as a non-Indigenous woman, I really wanted to include members of the Indigenous community to reflect their own experience within the song. And I brought Susan in, and a few other people contributed to making the song very sensitive to the Indigenous community.
And Susan, for you as a Mi'kmaq woman, how is the process of reconciliation performing these songs?
Well, the Indigenous experience in Canada is varied. Coming from Newfoundland, we escaped some of the horrors by hiding.
Wow.
And certainly some people in Newfoundland, that wasn't the story. But for me to be able to join Cherryl in this song was very, very touching. I think that it speaks to both Indigenous and non-Indigenous.
100%.
And I think that we needed music to help us get in touch with the grief that we felt and to help us come together on that. And that's why I was honored to come and sing this song with her and to be a part of it.
And you guys have a really strong sense of social justice, right? How do you guys use that in your creative process for songs? Like, you guys always relate with realistic situations, or does it come from an inside state? Could you guys give us a little bit of an insight?
Okay, I can jump in, I guess. Like Cherryl, I have received some songs directly from spirit, I feel. They come through. I feel that I'm more of a conduit. And in recent years, I've been trying to build the skill of songwriting.
Okay.
I think that right now in society, it's very difficult to have difficult conversations.
100%.
And our music is a place that we can maybe get at some of those concepts in a way that's a little less threatening. And certainly I have strong opinions on lots of stuff. And people enjoy listening to me sing far more than they like hearing me lecture or discuss.
Yeah, it's also a form of communication, right?
Exactly.
And Cherryl, you created one of the most important choir groups in Canada, Voices Rock Canada. And you created the group shortly after your husband passed away.
Correct.
Could you talk a little bit about the healing process of creating this group right after a huge loss in your life?
Yes. Well, like Bosco said, my husband died in 2012, and it was quite sudden. And I remember sitting right across from my lawyer saying, you know, life is way too short. I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life to art and music and, you know, the healing arts. Mm-hmm. And it came again, just like spirit, it came to me one night, like, I wonder if anyone's doing rock choirs for children. So we started as children's choirs, and it has since expanded to include seniors, adults, women physicians.
Wow.
And we now have 350 members across Canada.
And Susan, music came to you a little bit later in life. You're a very successful social worker with lots of studies and researches in child growth, human development. How does the social worker Susan help the singer Susan?
Oh, what a good question.
Yes.
The social worker Susan saw a lot of illness in this world and in myself. And music was something I always loved. I wrote music as a child, but it was just not something that I saw as an avenue for as a career.
You mean like on a financial point of view?
Financial point of view, I never saw anybody from my community
Being
successful in the in music at that time. And so academics was, what we were encouraged to do.
100%.
And a part of, I mentioned earlier, from my community was hiding. And music is very central to Indigenous communities. And so while we sang and we have a huge musical community, it was kind of underground a bit. And so as I aged, I had struggled with anxiety, I had struggled with depression, and I really looked at self-expression as the conduit to healing. And for me, expressing myself through music was the most natural and authentic place for me to return. And in 2015, when the Truth and Reconciliation report was finalized, the Chief Justice at the time asked us all to do our part. And at that time, I thought, oh, I'm sitting on a lot of music. And this music actually might be relevant. And that's what was my catalyst to begin to record and to move forward. Healing, in the Indigenous community, healing is a big word, but so is recovery. We're recovering and trying to reclaim our position in
from
this country.
Yeah, from the trauma, you mean?
Trauma, the efforts that were taken from a colonialized perspective to really keep us in our place. And I believe that healing is about tuning into the self, which the mindfulness does, really tuning in and embracing. We live in a world that's focused on not good enough.
100%.
And as soon as we get in touch with I'm already good enough, we can blossom just like a flower does.
And my last question for you, as an immigrant in Canada, when I accepted this country, I also accepted the sins of the past.
Yeah.
And I am taking all the steps necessary to make sure that those sins are acknowledged and also recognized. And as an immigrant, I'm also committed to some sort of healing.
And to contribute, right?
And to contribute to a better future for Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples. In your opinion, what is being done right now, is it enough?
I think people are trying really hard. There's not been a lot of steps done on the Truth and Reconciliation report, unfortunately. I think there's been maybe 9 that have been really tackled, but we're trying.
I think that we have to really work together to find those solutions moving forward and doing it from a place of, again, worth, that we're in this together. Is a part. And I think we're just getting started, and personally, again, based on my profession, I believe that it's very hard to touch hearts that haven't touched their own. That's why we have to start with the self and work on accepting ourselves. And then it's much easier to accept and embrace others.
That's right.
All right. So Cherryl and Susan, thank you so much. We're going to go for a quick commercial break.
That's right.
And we'll be back with more music.
Stay tuned.
Someone's daughter, someone's wife. Wind blows with hush. I am someone, someone's mother, someone's life. Love turns into dust. Please believe me when I say I may be lost and can't be found. My spirit has not gone away. No, no. I am human, someone's lover, someone's friend. The earth breathes with life. I am human, alive in spirit like a breath. Day turns into night. Please believe me when I say I may be lost and can't be found. My spirit has not gone away. No, no. I'm still here, a living soul within your heart. Wind blows beneath your wings. I'm still here. We are never far apart. Nightingale forever sings. We are lost and can't be found, but spirit has not gone away. I'm still here, I'm still here, still here.
Cherryl BOWER!
This was amazing. Thank you so much for coming, you guys.
And we welcome back Susan here to the stage because now we have a very special segment on the show.
That's right.
It's called
The Mystery Box!
So the mystery box segment is very simple. We have a box full of words. Gonna pick one and define it. Is that okay?
Let's go.
All right. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Cherryl.
Yeah, I like that attitude.
All right. So the first one is. All right. Let's show it to the camera.
Guys.
Joys. Joys. What does it mean for you?
Joy for me means singing,
Yeah.
nature, my animal, my little granddaughters,
Oh, that's beautiful.
and family.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
I love it. Susan.
My turn. Let's see.
Don't look.
Victory.
All right,
Victory.
so that camera over there. Victory. There
What
you go.
does victory mean to you?
Victory. Oh, wow. That's a tough one. Okay. Victory means success. Victory means being here today.
I
Wow.
love it.
Victory means continuing to get up every morning and be a better version of myself than yesterday.
That's beautiful.
Those are my victories.
You guys want to pick another one?
All right, the last one. Susan.
Fear.
Fear. What does
Fear.
that mean to you?
Fear.
And how does it affect you, or do you let it affect you?
Fear is something I'm moving away from. I had a lot of fear years ago, and with every step, I'm walking away from it or walking through it. I think sometimes we try to avoid fear, but my experience is that if we walk towards it, it shrinks.
We overcome it, right?
And so that's what I'm doing. I'm walking towards fear. Here I am.
Good for you.
There you go. And right after the break, we have more music with Susan this time.
That's right, guys. Stay tuned. Welcome back to CMCTV Talent.
We have Susan O'Quinn and Cherryl BOWER here with us today. And before Susan sings her last song, how do people get in touch with you?
I can be found at Voices Rock Canada, www.voicesrockcanada.com, and they can find me there.
And what about you, Susan?
You can find me online at susanoquinn.com. And on Facebook, Susan O'Quinn Music. Yeah. On Instagram, TikTok, I'm trying to be more active.
There you go.
There we go.
And Susan, could you tell us a little bit more about the last song you're performing today?
This last song is called Can't We? And it really speaks to discovering my own sense of self, identity, and realizing some of my own experience here in Canada. And again, asking all of us to come together and can't we?
Thank you so much, Susan. Thank you, Cherryl. And now, this is Can't We by Susan O'Quinn. See you next week.
See you next week.
I find it hard to believe a smart girl like me could be so naive. Maybe you had this thought too. Maybe you feel like me. Maybe you had this thought too. Can we just I don't know if you catch my drift. I'm trying to be nice, trying to forgive. Maybe you had this thought too. Maybe you feel like me. Maybe you had this thought too. You're human like me. emotions.